I welcome you to my channel. Subscribe and listen to my new stories every day. I always trusted Lisa. She's the kind of woman who lights up a room with her smile, her laughter echoing in the halls like a familiar song. When she says she has a business trip, I believe her. After all, she's dedicated, ambitious, and she always comes home with stories of meetings and networking. But this time feels different. It's a Thursday evening when I decide to surprise her. She's in Chicago, attending a conference that's supposed to run late into the night. I grab my keys, the thrill of spontaneity coursing through me as I drive through the city, the skyline a blur of lights. I imagine her face when she sees me, a mixture of surprise and joy. Arriving at the hotel, I check in and take the elevator up to her floor. The soft ding of the elevator feels like a countdown, my heart racing as I reach her room. I take a moment to gather my thoughts, running through a mental checklist. Flowers? Check. Sweet little note? Check. But as I stand in front of her door, something gnaws at me. A small, insidious voice whispers doubts. What if she's busy? What if she's overwhelmed by work? I shake my head, dismissing the thoughts. No. I'm here to surprise her. I knock lightly, my heart thumping in my chest. When there's no answer, I knock again, louder this time. Still nothing. My brow furrows. Maybe she's in the shower. I take a step back, glancing around the hallway, feeling the silence wrap around me like a shroud. Then I hear it. A muffled laugh, followed by a soft gasp. The sound comes from inside her room, and instinct kicks in. I don't know what compels me, but I turn the doorknob, surprised to find it unlocked. My stomach sinks as I push the door open. The scene before me freezes time. Lisa is sprawled on the bed, her laughter mingling with the deep chuckle of a man I don't recognize. He's handsome in a rugged way, a mix of charm and confidence that radiates from him. But what pierces my heart isn't just the sight of them together, it's the way Lisa's skin glistens, the way she's draped in a thin sheet, her vulnerability laid bare. My breath hitches in my throat as I realize what she's doing. Lisa. I manage to choke out, disbelief turning my voice into a whisper. She jumps, her eyes wide with shock, the color draining from her face as she scrambles to cover herself. Mark. I didn't expect you, her voice falters, and the man beside her looks between us, confusion written all over his face. Clearly, I reply, anger bubbling to the surface. What the hell is going on here? The man sits up, his brow furrowing, but I barely register him. I'm locked on Lisa, searching for an explanation in her eyes. But all I see is panic. Mark, please, it's not what it looks like, she pleads, her voice shaky. Not what it looks like. You're half naked in bed with another man. What else could it be? I take a step forward, rage coursing through me like fire. Let me explain, she says, her hands trembling as she tries to pull the sheet tighter around her. Explain. You want to explain how you betrayed me? How you've been lying to me? My voice rises, and I can feel the weight of her guilt pressing down on the room. I was going to tell you, she insists, desperation lacing her words. It was just a mistake. We were having drinks, and it got out of hand. I shake my head, disbelief turning into fury. A mistake? Is that what you call this? You think I'm just going to stand here and let this slide? As she stammers, I feel the adrenaline rush through me, sharp and invigorating. Revenge simmers beneath my skin, dark and alluring. I glance at the stranger in her bed, he's watching me, uncertainty etched on his face, but I don't care about him. My world has shattered, and I need to make her feel this pain. I should have known, I say, my voice low and deadly calm. You think I'm going to just walk away from this? No, Lisa. You're going to regret this. Her eyes widen, and I turn on my heel, leaving her and the man behind as I storm out of the room. The hallway stretches out before me, and I realize then that my life is about to change forever. I don't know what my revenge will look like yet, but as I stand there, the weight of betrayal heavy on my shoulders, I know one thing: she will pay for this. Outside, the city buzzes around me, oblivious to my turmoil. I pull out my phone, heart racing as I start to plan. This isn't over. Not by a long shot. Game on, I whisper to myself, a bitter smile creeping onto my lips. The night air feels sharp as I step outside the hotel, each breath a reminder of the betrayal I just witnessed. My heart races, a mix of anger and adrenaline propelling me forward. I can't just go home, I need to act. My mind whirls with possibilities, each darker than the last. I pull out my phone and start scrolling through my contacts, finally stopping on my old friend Jake. He's always been the kind of guy who thrives on chaos, someone who knows how to bend the rules and push boundaries. Maybe he can help me devise a plan. I tap his number and wait, the ringing echoing in my ear. Each ring is a reminder of what I've lost, and when he finally picks up, his voice feels like an anchor. Mark. Long time no hear. What's up? Jake's tone is cheerful, but I can't muster a smile. Hey, Jake. I need your help. There's a pause on the other end, and I can almost hear the gears turning in his head. Sounds serious. What's going on? Lisa, I say, forcing the name out like a curse. I just caught her cheating on me. What? No way. I mean, she always seemed like the type to keep it together. She's in Chicago right now, and I walked in on her with another guy. I bite my lip, trying to suppress the surge of rage threatening to explode. Damn, man. That's rough. What do you want to do about it? I want to ruin her life, I say, each word sharp and deliberate. I want her to feel the same pain she's caused me. Jake laughs, a low, dangerous sound. Now we're talking. What's the plan? I take a deep breath, the gears in my mind starting to turn. First, I need to gather evidence. I want proof of this affair. I want to watch her squirm when it all comes crashing down. Easy enough. I know some guys who can help you out. They've got connections, and they're good at surveillance. How about I set something up? Yeah, do it. I want to catch them in the act, I reply, my voice steady, a sense of determination rising within me. But I also want to make sure this doesn't end quietly. I want her to lose everything. Consider it done, he says, his excitement palpable. Let me make a few calls, and I'll get back to you. As I hang up, a plan begins to solidify in my mind, but it feels more like a beast awakening. I glance at the hotel, anger bubbling back up as I remember the look on Lisa's face when she realized I'd caught her. I can't let that image fade, I need to keep it fresh, a constant reminder of her betrayal. I decide to take a walk, my feet leading me through the bustling streets of Chicago. The city is alive around me, but I feel like a ghost, detached from everything. My mind drifts back to Lisa, her laughter once filled with warmth, now twisted into something bitter. Suddenly, my phone buzzes in my pocket. A text from Jake lights up the screen, meet me at the hideout in 30. Got a lead. I head toward the bar, my pulse quickening. The hideout is a dive, known for its dark corners and loud music, a perfect spot for clandestine conversations. I push through the door, the scent of beer and sweat hitting me like a wave. I scan the room, finally spotting Jake in a booth at the back. Mark. Over here, he waves, his grin wide. I slide into the booth, feeling the tension in my shoulders ease slightly. What do you have? Jake leans in, lowering his voice. I spoke to a buddy of mine who does some work for a private investigator. He's got a guy who can get us footage, just give him the details, and he'll be able to track her movements. Perfect. I want everything, text messages, photos, the works. I can feel the dark satisfaction building inside me. Also, I've been thinking, Jake continues, his eyes gleaming with mischief. What if you plant some seeds of doubt in her mind? Make her think you know more than you do. How do you mean? Simple. You start posting on social media, photos of you having a good time, maybe with someone who looks a little like her. She'll see it, and it'll eat at her. Make her wonder how much you really know. I nod, a wicked smile creeping onto my face. I like that. Let her stew in her guilt. Exactly. We'll make it a full-on psychological game. By the time we reveal the truth, she'll be a wreck. I take a swig of my drink, savoring the bitterness of the beer as much as the taste of revenge. Let's do it. Get the footage and set the wheels in motion. Consider it done, Jake says, clinking his glass against mine. This is going to be epic. As we plot and scheme, the thrill of retribution surges through me. I can almost taste the victory, feel it on the horizon. Lisa will pay for what she's done. I won't rest until she's brought to her knees. And as I step back out into the chaotic nightlife of Chicago, I can't help but think, this is just the beginning. The next few days blur into a whirlwind of planning and plotting. My phone buzzes constantly with messages from Jake, updates about the surveillance and our growing scheme. Each ping sends a thrill through me, a reminder that soon, Lisa's world will come crashing down. Jake's friend, a shadowy figure named Marcus, is a former cop with connections that run deep. He's set to begin his work, tracking Lisa's movements and gathering evidence of her infidelity. I can't help but feel a mix of excitement and dread as I imagine what's to come. On Friday night, I find myself sitting in my dimly lit apartment, scrolling through social media. I've created a fake profile, a smokescreen for my plan. Under the guise of Michael, I start posting photos of my new life, me at bars, laughing with friends, even a shot with a striking brunette who looks vaguely like Lisa. The thought of her seeing this stirs something dark within me. Just as I'm lost in thought, my phone rings. It's Jake. Hey, man. You won't believe this, he says, his voice crackling with excitement. Marcus just sent over some footage. Already? I sit up straighter, adrenaline pumping. What did he find? There's a pattern, Jake replies, barely able to contain himself. Lisa's been meeting this guy, Eric, every Tuesday night for the last month. I'm sending you the videos now. You're going to want to see this. I open my email, my heart racing as I find the attachments. As the first video loads, I watch in disbelief. It's Lisa, laughing and leaning in close to Eric at a bar, her eyes sparkling with something I haven't seen in a long time, happiness. I feel the anger boiling inside me, a molten pit of betrayal. I'll kill that bastard, I mutter under my breath. Hold on, Jake says. We've got to play this smart. We need to gather everything before we confront her. I know, but it's hard to just sit back and watch, I reply, trying to keep my voice steady. I get it. But think about it, the more we have, the worse it will hit her. You want her to feel every ounce of pain she's caused you. Yeah, you're right, I sigh, my fingers tapping restlessly on the table. What's the plan? Marcus is following them tonight. He'll get more footage, and then we can arrange a big reveal, maybe a dinner party or something to really catch her off guard. Make it an event she can't escape. Dinner party? I raise an eyebrow, surprised. You think she'll buy that? Trust me. People love to talk. We'll set it up as a celebration of your new life. When she walks in, and we hit her with the evidence, it'll be epic. A dark grin spreads across my face. I like it. When do we do this? Next Saturday. We'll give Marcus time to gather everything he can, and you'll have enough content to really make her sweat. I hang up, a sense of purpose igniting within me. I spend the next few days meticulously crafting my social media presence, documenting my exciting life with my new friends, all while imagining Lisa's reaction when she sees me moving on without her. As Saturday approaches, I invite a few close friends over under the pretense of a casual gathering. I want to make sure I have an audience for the unveiling of Lisa's betrayal. They don't know the real reason behind the party, but their excitement fuels my anticipation. On the day of the gathering, I feel a surge of adrenaline. I've set everything up perfectly. My living room is filled with balloons, the smell of food wafts through the air, and laughter echoes as my friends arrive. They're oblivious to the storm brewing beneath the surface, and I enjoy playing the part of the jovial host. "Mark, this place looks amazing," one friend exclaims, handing me a drink. "Thanks. Just trying to make the best of things," I reply, a tight smile on my face. As the clock ticks closer to the time I've asked Lisa to arrive, my nerves dance with excitement. Jake texts me that Marcus has gathered all the footage, and I can feel my heart racing with anticipation. Finally, my phone buzzes with a text from Lisa, "On my way. Can't wait to celebrate." I take a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. It's time. When the doorbell rings, I feel a rush of adrenaline surge through me. I open the door, and there she stands, Lisa, radiant in a red dress, her smile bright. For a moment, the sight of her takes my breath away, but then the reality of her betrayal crashes back down, and I remember why I'm doing this. "Mark. Wow, this looks amazing," she gushes, stepping inside. "Thanks, Lisa. Glad you could make it," I say, forcing warmth into my tone. As she walks into the room, I watch her absorb the atmosphere, the laughter, the energy. My friends greet her with open arms, welcoming her as if she's still the center of my world. But inside, my blood simmers with vengeance. "Hey, everyone. I'm so excited to be here," she calls out, her voice bright. I exchange a knowing glance with Jake, who stands off to the side, a smirk on his face. The tension in the air is palpable, a silent agreement that we're all in on the deception. As the night unfolds, I keep the conversation light, laughing and joking with my friends while stealing glances at Lisa. She seems to be enjoying herself, blissfully unaware of the storm that's about to break. Finally, as the evening winds down and people start to gather in the living room, I take a deep breath. It's time to bring out the big reveal. "Hey, everyone. I just want to thank you all for coming tonight. It means a lot to me," I say, my voice steady. "But I have something special I want to share with Lisa." She raises an eyebrow, intrigued. "What is it?" I motion to Jake, who steps forward with a laptop. "I think you need to see this," he says, his tone serious. The room falls silent as I hit play on the video Marcus captured. Lisa's laughter fills the space, her carefree spirit juxtaposed against the reality of the betrayal on screen. The room watches in rapt attention as the footage unfolds, revealing her with Eric, their chemistry undeniable. Lisa's face pales as the realization washes over her. "Mark, But I cut her off, my heart pounding in my chest. "Save it. You think this is just a game? You've made your choices, Lisa, and now it's time to face the consequences." The room is silent, the weight of the moment pressing down on us. I can see the shock and horror in her eyes as she processes what's happening. "Mark, I didn't mean for it to happen like this," she pleads, her voice trembling. "Too late for apologies," I reply, my voice cold. "You wanted a new life. Well, congratulations. You've got it." As her tears begin to fall, I feel a strange mix of satisfaction and sadness. The game is just beginning, but I know one thing for certain, she'll never forget this night. The silence in the room is deafening as the video plays on loop. Lisa's face twists in disbelief, her mouth opening and closing as if searching for words that won't come. I relish the moment, the taste of revenge sweet on my tongue. "Mark, please," she starts, her voice cracking under the weight of reality. "Save it, Lisa," I say, my voice low and filled with disdain. "You made your choice. You wanted this life, and now you're going to live with the consequences. I can see my friends shifting uncomfortably, glancing between Lisa and me. Some were expressions of sympathy, others share my anger, but I'm done caring what they think. This is about her. Who is he? I demand, my eyes burning into hers. What's so special about him? Eric is just a friend, she stammers, her voice barely above a whisper. Just a friend? That's rich. I laugh, a bitter sound that fills the room. You were in bed with him, Lisa. You don't get to downplay this. Jake steps closer, his eyes sparkling with vindictive excitement. You thought you could betray him without facing the music? You underestimated him. What's your plan? Lisa asks, her voice shaky but defiant. You think this is going to break me? Break you? I echo, stepping forward. No, Lisa. I want to watch you crumble. I want to see everything you've built come crashing down. Suddenly, a dark thought strikes me. Maybe we should take this a step further. I glance at Jake, who's clearly intrigued. Let's really turn the screws, he says, grinning. We could leak this video. Imagine the fallout. I can feel the adrenaline surging through me, the thrill of revenge pulsing in my veins. Let's do it. Let the whole world see the truth. Lisa's eyes widen in horror. You wouldn't dare. Try me, I sneer, pulling out my phone. You think you're the only one who can play games? I've got a network of people who would love to share this. I type furiously, ready to hit send. What do you think your colleagues will say when they see their trustworthy coworker caught in such a scandal? Mark, please. She steps forward, desperation spilling over. We can talk about this. I'll do anything. Anything. I scoff, my heart racing at the thought. You already chose him. What else is there to say? Maybe we can work it out, she pleads, her voice trembling. I can fix this. I'll make it right. Fix it? I echo, incredulous. You can't fix betrayal. You think I can just forgive you and pretend like this never happened? I feel my friends closing in, an audience to this twisted drama, and I'm fueled by their attention. I'm not just doing this for me anymore, I want them to see the depths of her treachery. Listen, I'm giving you one last chance, I say, my tone suddenly cold. Tell me why I shouldn't just ruin you right here and now. Because I still love you, she cries, tears streaming down her face. I made a mistake. It was just a fling. I'm here now, aren't I? A wave of laughter erupts from Jake, and I can't help but join in. You call that love? It sounds like desperation to me. Enough. I shout, the noise in the room dying down instantly. You don't get to redefine love after what you've done. You've lost that right. I look at Lisa, a mixture of pity and disgust filling me. You were my whole world, and you threw it away for some cheap thrill. You think I'm going to let that slide? Mark, don't do this, she whispers, her voice broken. I take a step back, considering my next move. You know what? I think I've given you enough time. It's time for the world to see who you really are. Just as I'm about to send the video, my phone vibrates with a call. It's Marcus. I swipe to answer, my pulse racing. Hey, Mark. I've got something urgent, he says, his voice frantic. You need to hear this. What is it? I ask, irritation creeping into my tone. I've been following Lisa and Eric. There's more to this than you know. He's not just some guy, he's connected. I found out he's married, and involved in some shady business. My heart skips a beat. What do you mean? Let's just say this guy has enemies. If you leak that video, it could come back to haunt you. They don't take kindly to betrayal. I pause, the reality hitting me hard. You're telling me I could end up in the crosshairs of a dangerous situation? Exactly. I'm saying you might want to think twice about your next move. I glance at Lisa, her face pale as the implications sink in. The anger that once fueled me begins to ebb, replaced by a cold clarity. So you're saying I should just let her off the hook? I'm saying you should protect yourself, Marcus insists. This isn't just about you and her anymore. I close my eyes, the weight of the decision pressing down on me. Fine. I won't leak the video. But that doesn't mean she's off the hook. Do what you have to do, Marcus replies, but be smart about it. I hang up and turn to Lisa, my expression hardening. You're lucky this time. I'm not going to destroy you, not yet. Thank you, she breathes, relief washing over her features. But you need to understand this, I say, my voice cold as ice. You've lost me. There's no coming back from this. You wanted a new life? Go ahead and take it. Just know that every time you look over your shoulder, it's me you'll be thinking of. With that, I turn to my friends, who are still processing the chaos. This party's over. As they start to leave, I feel a strange sense of closure settling in. I may not have ruined her life today, but I've made my point clear. Lisa and I are done, the trust is gone, and there's no repairing that. The door closes behind my friends, and I turn to Lisa, who stands there trembling. Mark, please. I shake my head. This isn't a negotiation. You've lost your chance. We're finished. With that, I walk past her, leaving her in the dim light of my apartment, a ghost of the love we once had. I step into the night, the cool air hitting my face, and for the first time in days, I feel free. There's a world outside, a vast expanse of possibilities awaiting me. As I walk away from the wreckage of our relationship, I know one thing for sure, the scars of betrayal run deep, but they also make us stronger. And as for Lisa, she'll have to live with the consequences of her choices. I may not have destroyed her today, but I've planted a seed of doubt that will grow and fester. As I disappear into the night, I take one last look back at my apartment. It's time to leave the past behind. I'm ready for whatever comes next, and I know I'll never look back.